Make some noise for Josh Johnson!
Wow, thank you so much for having me. This is so cool. I am happy to spend the 4th of July with you. Maybe you're not aware of some of our customs on the 4th of July. One of them that sticks out is a hot dog eating contest. And I've been traveling the world, and a lot of people think that they know what a hot dog is. They even think that they have their own version of a hot dog. And as I've traveled the world, I can honestly say that no, you don't. Because you all here, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but you have bratwurst. That's not hot dog at all. That's good. You have to understand, to make a hot dog, like bratwurst is beef or veal. It's a meat with herbs and spices in it, cooked well. A hot dog, especially in America, a hot dog is something that to make you first have to find. And when I say find, I mean like putting together a proper hot dog in its casing and to serve is a lot like a witch's spell. You have to find meat that's first on the floor. It's very important this meat is on the floor. If the meat is not on the floor, you might not be making a hot dog. You have to find this meat that's on the floor. You have to couple it all together. You have to push it through this machine. And bratwurst, once again, beef, veal, you can only hold together a proper hot dog with hate and like a touch, like a dash, just a little bit of poverty, right? So you have some hate, you have, you can get a side of anger in there too. And then you put it together into a hot dog, you wrap it up nicely so it looks like it might be edible. Because I don't know if you've had a hot dog. In order to prepare a hot dog, it's not like preparing a bratwurst. You have to boil a hot dog. And in order to boil the hot dog, it means you do have to ruin some water. You put the hot dog in the water, you boil it up, that cooks the hot dog. Cooks is a strong word. What are you cooking? It's demon meat. But you boil the hot dog up, so then you pull it out, that's cooked. You then put it in a bun to cover up that you're eating a hot dog. The water you have to dispose of like toxic waste. A lot of people will pour this down the sink. Don't do that. Don't get that mixed in with the regular. When I was little, I had a friend who his mom had a flower garden, and he'd make hot dogs after school, and then he'd pour the water in the hot dog garden, and all of the flowers died. Because that is runoff poison water. But yeah, you boil a hot dog, and then you eat it, and when you eat it, you're supposed to close your eyes and pretend you're chewing something else. Because this is going to be nasty. You can try to dress it up with mustard, ketchup, with mayo relish, with whatever manner of things people do. Some people will act really, really holier than thou about how they prepare their hot dog, as if a hot dog is not a mystery of meat mushed together I say all that because on the 4th of July, there is a hot dog eating contest that takes place. And the winner this year, once again, is a man named Joey Chestnut. And this year, he ate 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes, which is the correct response. You know how I said that when you felt physically ill? That's how you're supposed to feel on the 4th of July after eating as many hot dogs as possible. I believe the record is 76 hot dogs. And I remember one time my buddy entered a hot dog eating contest, and he was super excited about it. And he had watched Kobayashi, he had watched Joey Chestnut, and he thought he could do it too. He was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Let's give it a try, right? And so he entered the hot dog eating contest, and it wasn't like the official Nathan's hot dog. It was just like a local one that was happening on 4th of July. And he entered the contest, sat down with the other contestants, and then over the course of 10 minutes, my friend ate 2. This man ate 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes. We were watching it like, when is he gonna kick into gear? Like, when is it? There are other people that are literally like swallowing hot dogs like, as fast as possible. There was one dude that was this was incredible. He was screaming hot dogs down, right? He was like, oh! Meanwhile, our buddy, hot dogs in 10 minutes. We went from cheering to booing. We started out supportive. Initially, we were like, yeah, get him, you can do it. And then, when it was clear he couldn't, we were like, stop, you wasting a hot dog. When he got done, we asked him, hey, what happened? We drove you here. You the one wanted to go way out the way to enter this contest to waste everybody's time. 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes is not a contest, that's a meal. What's wrong with you? And he was like, I panicked. What are you panicking about? He's like, I saw everybody else do it, and they were so fast. I was like, how are they not choking? And then I remembered I might choke. So then I started chewing extra. I was scared to choke. I was like, if you had at least choked, then 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes would be more reasonable. You got people over here fighting to get hot dogs now. He over here chewing responsibly. I do my best when I go anywhere to be as good of a guest as I can. You know, it means a lot to me to have me over here and for me to be your guest for a little while. I've been looking forward to this trip for a long time. And I'm always a little tense when I'm a guest, though. You know, even if it's just visiting a friend's house, you want to be a good guest. You don't want to leave and then have them be like, oh, never again. You know, like I get nervous to be seen as a bad guest. I don't want anything to go wrong. Like I've had to stay over, you know, for a couple nights at friends' houses, and they're like, "Oh, make yourself at home. What's mine is yours." I feel like that's a trap. You know, because you really make yourself at home and then you find out how much they mean it later. It's like, I'd rather just act like I shouldn't be in here at all. Quiet as a mouse, you know. I'll just act like I broke in and just try to affect as little as possible in the home. And they'll be like, what? He's such a good guest. We didn't even know he was here. One time I got so stressed out about being a guest at my friend's house while they were out of town that I just never went. And they were like, Josh, our apartment looks amazing. Did you do all this cleaning before you left? I was like, yep, you know it. Wanted to leave it better than I found it, you know. Because even being the guest at a party, that's like a short-term guest. When you're just there for the party, you're just there, you know, a few hours, maybe half the day if it goes long. And I'm terrified to be a bad guest there. I just don't want to be remembered in a bad light. And there was this one time where I went to a friend's party, and I'm not great at parties to begin with. You know, I'm very much in the corner, or if I know one person at the party, that will be the person that I'm talking to the entire party. Like it will be a burden on them. Sometimes I see a friend that I know at a party and no one else, and I'm like, ooh, you about to have a bad time at this party. I hate that for you. I'm very sorry. But it's either talk to you or talk to a stranger, and come on. And so, you know, I was at this party, and my friend who actually invited me to the party was late. We were supposed to meet up together, and I misunderstood the text message. I thought they were already in there. So I knock on the door, I meet the host, I tell him, you know, oh, I'm friends with, and then he lets me in, which is a huge mistake. Because now I'm just sort of standing awkwardly while other people have a great time. And so I was like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? This is the fail-safe. Every time you need a break from social interaction, or you just need to get your bearings together because you're in a public place and you're sort of freaking out, you go to the bathroom. The bathroom is the safe haven, right? And so I walk to the bathroom, I close the door behind me, and it's a little dim in the bathroom, but I use the bathroom, right? Other reason to go. And as I'm stepping away from the toilet, I hear this little crunch, like under my feet, and I look at it, and it's all of this glass under my feet, and it looks like the actual light bulb either popped or broke or something, and then now I've stepped in it. And as I really start to look around the bathroom, I realized that it is an absolute disaster in there. It is horrifically bad. So the bathroom mirror is smashed. I didn't notice it at first when I walked in, and the glass is in the sink, and there's a little bit of blood in the sink, right? And so I'm standing there, and I look over at the tub, and the shower curtain is pulled back, and there's a fur coat in the tub. And I'm like, all these things are too much for one thing. You know what I mean? Like this would be a shutting the bathroom down for a short period of time at the party if just one of them happened, and all of them are happening right now. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I flush. That's as much as I can clean up right now. And then I'm a bit panicked, so I get ready to just get out of the bathroom, because if I can get out scot-free, if no one sees me come out of the bathroom, someone else can address this thing, because I don't know anyone here. My only friend is late, and the host has just seen me once. So I get ready to, I don't even, admittedly, this is gross, sorry, but I wasn't even gonna wash my hands, because I was like, there's a whole bunch of blood in there anyway. They'd be dirtier than when they were unwashed. And so I get ready to pull on the doorknob, and I hear a knock. And I can't open the door. There's no way I could open the door and be like, all yours. You know? It's crazy in there. And so I hear the knock, and I think to myself, oh no. There's no way. First of all, if you need to go to the bathroom, the last thing you want is for someone to open the door and be like, all right, before you get in there. I just want you to know none of this is my fault, okay? Before you walk in with judgment, just know anything can happen to anybody at any point. Like, if you had been a little quicker with your feet, this would have been you, okay? I don't know what to do as I'm just standing there. And I'm admittedly standing there for like way too long. Like, and I hear a knock again. And I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta buy myself some time. And so I just say, 1 second. That's bought me 1 second. I have to use it wisely. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I could try to clean up. I'm over here in my head freaking out, because this is my worst nightmare. I'm gonna look like a terrible guest. I'm at a party where I don't know anybody, and I'm gonna look like I destroyed this bathroom. And so I'm Googling all types of stuff. I'm over here Googling, does glass flush? Like, does glass flush? How fast can you get blood out of the sink? If you were to look at my Google search history on this night, it would look like I definitely killed someone. Or at least a small animal, because I was also Googling, like, does fur disintegrate? Like, and so, I just spent another minute and a half sweating and freaking out, and then I hear a knock, but this knock is like thicker. It's just like strong. It's clearly a different knock. It's clearly a different person, and that person is like, hey, come on, people waiting. I'm like, people? People are waiting. Okay, all right. People implies more than one person, which does imply, plural, and plural could just be two. It could just be the initial guy that knocked and is very patient, or maybe left, who knows? Maybe he had to use the bathroom so bad that he left the party completely, but this person is adamant, hey, I gotta get in there, right? And he said, people are waiting. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, 2 people are waiting. And then he yells out, you got a line out here. What's happening in there? And I looked down at my phone, and I had been in the bathroom for like 15 minutes. Like, I had let this go way too far. And so I froze. I didn't know what to do at all. It's like your absolute worst nightmare as a person that's like gets weird in like social interactions. To actually have this weird thing happen to you is like, I think maybe this is hell. I think maybe I've died. And so I'm pacing back and forth in the bathroom, which is only breaking more light bulb glass. And I finally look out of the little window, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to leave. Like, I'm gonna have to jump out of the window. And in my like panic, I forgot that we were on the first floor. So it wasn't like a big jump or anything, but I did have to climb out of a window that wasn't man-sized. Luckily, neither am I. I was squeezing my hips at like an angle, like I put my hips like diagonal to the edges of the window to get as much space as possible, and I wiggled out. I fell out of the window, and I tried as much as I could to like pull the window back up from outside so that people wouldn't be like, oh, whoever it was went out the window. And then I was like, what do I do though? What if someone saw me go in, remembers me perfectly even though they don't know me, and could point me out, you know, because I wear the same thing every day. And so I'm like, the only option I have is to go back in. Is to go back in and join the line for the bathroom. And so I walk around the house, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, all I gotta do is watch out for the host. His host was greeting me when I first walked in. As long as the host has like got to that point in the party where they're not greeting everybody and they're not answering the door every time, I should be good. And so I wait. Some other people were arriving, and they knock on the door. Someone else opens the door. I'm like, this is my chance. I sneak in behind those two other people, and I immediately walk to the line for the bathroom. And luckily, my buddy who was late was in the back of the line, and he's like, can you just believe this? No, I do my best to be like a good house guest, you know, and especially when I travel, because when I travel, I have to do it as an American. I have to travel as an American now. You know? And it's like, I'm traveling more than I ever have in my life, experiencing new places for the first time. But one thing that I will say is, okay, there used to be a time where you would travel when you were from the U.S. You would go to other places, and you would say that you were from the U.S., and people, there was a shine to it. There genuinely was like this like magnificent shine around you and your passport. People had questions for you. You know, you would say you were from the U.S., and they'd be like, oh, blue jeans. Wow. And then over time, the shine started to wear off a little bit, you know, like the way that we were perceived on the world stage started to change, and you would tell people that you were from the U.S., and they'd be like, oh yes, yeah, Beyonce. And now, you travel the world, and look, people ask me. I don't go around telling everyone my business all the time. People ask me, hell, where are you from? And I go, oh, it's... is American. And they're like, what? What? I didn't hear. Oh, is United States. What? I'm American. I'm from the U.S. From America. And I've traveled these past 2 weeks to Paris, Dublin, Brussels, Antwerp, now here. And there is a similarity. This happened more in Brussels and Antwerp than anywhere else, but it has also happened here where people will ask me where I'm visiting from, and then I will tell them. And there's a look and a noise you make that's genuinely offensive. Like it is. Once again, you asked me. I didn't say anything. I walk into the shop. Y'all are the ones, asking questions and stuff. And then I say that I'm from the U.S. I'm visiting from America. And then you go, oh. You get the face or you get the noise. You don't get both. Oh. I grew up in Louisiana, all right? And when I was, sure. And when I was in Louisiana, I have friends who live in all different parts of the state. And one of my friends, he actually lives he's in a rural area. He's in some swamp area near the bayou and everything. There's a bunch of things floating in the water, a bunch of predators out there. He does his hunting. He comes back home. That's mainly how he sustains himself and everything. And there was one time he was having a barbecue. A bunch of friends came over, and one of his buddies, his buddy Spence, came over and was having a cigarette off by himself. He walked off away from the barbecue to have his cigarette. And then sometime later, he comes back over, and in the back door, the way that a lot of the houses are built in Louisiana is you have your door and you have your screen door. And the screen door can keep out the bugs while also letting air flow into the home and everything. And so he pops his head near the screen door, and his head only. And Spence leans in and he says, hey, can you call an ambulance? And our friend is like, what? Why? If anyone ever asks you to call an ambulance, just do it right away. I'm sure that they have a good reason. I'm sure they're not just getting you to do it for fun because they want to hear the siren. I think that they probably need some help. And so he's like, if you could just call him, that'd be great. Can you please just call him? And he's being very calm. And so our friend walks up and pokes his head out of the screen door, and he sees that Spence, though calm, is standing there, and there is a baby alligator around his foot. And that's the way you look at me when I tell you that I'm from the U.S. Now, coming here at a time where tourism in the U.S. is way down. Yeah, people aren't coming to visit as often. It's like if people used to love to come visit all the time, and then something happened. It'd be like if you went over to your friend's house all the time growing up, and then one day, you stopped going, and your friend was like, why? Why wouldn't you just come over like you used to? Come hang out. And you're like, oh, well, last time I was there, your dad threw a plate at my head, so I think I'm good coming over for a while. You know? And so tourism is down in the U.S. People are choosing other places to go. And one of the main places that they're choosing to come is to Europe. It's all these places, like, some people will come to Berlin. A lot of it is happening in Spain with Barcelona and Madrid, in Italy, in Paris as well. And it's getting to the point where there's so much tourism, people are actually calling it like over-tourism. And this is happening at the same time as like massive heat waves, like wild heat waves, some of which we've never seen before. It's never been as hot as it is now. It's very hot. Luckily, not here today. But this week you had, one of your hottest days on record. I can't even imagine what that must have been like, because you all are like fit people. Like, you get on bikes to go you have to understand, my frame of reference is the US. So the fact that you're even walking next to a bike is leaps and bounds. I can't imagine trying to ride a bike in that heat, or running. Some of you run. And so that's wild that this level of like over tourism is happening at the same time as this heat wave. And there are people in Paris, there are people in Spain and Italy that have had enough. They're losing it over this. They're protesting the tourists. They're over here being like, stop it. Stop coming here right now. Talk amongst yourselves and spread it out throughout the year or something. But this is too much. You have places like, I could be wrong about these numbers, but I think in Barcelona you have like 1.6 million people living there, but like 26 million people visit throughout the year. That's wild. I understand that if you live in Barcelona and you're trying to ride your bike, eventually you're like, get out of the way! And then if you live in Barcelona, you're tired of all these tourists everywhere all the time, and you start freaking out. You might get a reputation for being a little bit rude to tourists, and then you'll be New York. But people are doing the best they can to protest. There's been all these different types. People get creative and stuff. There's one where they were shooting tourists with water guns throughout the day. Get out of here! Ah! Like when a dog tries to pee on the carpet. Although as far as protests go, you can tell that these are like good people doing the protesting, because that's what you came with, water guns. Water gun. I don't know. I'm coming from the U.S. where it would have just been guns. Like this. You can tell these are people who have a deep moral core, because you used water guns to protest tourists during a heat wave. They probably didn't even understand what was happening. They were probably over here like, oh, the Spanish are so hospitable. They saw how hot we were. And then some strangers we didn't even know were like, cooling us off. And I get the genuine frustration though, but this is the main problem, is that whether it's business or whether it's government, systems have a magnificent way of pitting us against each other. Like, there are people that are local that are upset because obviously with all this tourism, Airbnbs are shooting up. Airbnbs raise the price of living in the area, so then people are getting priced out of their homes. They're getting priced out of the areas that they grew up in. They have to find somewhere else to live, all for people who don't live here, who are just coming to peak, and then they head home. And that can be incredibly frustrating, but that's the people who are coming to visit didn't come up with a master plan. Airbnb and the government that allows Airbnb to run rampant are the people to blame. You should be taking, like, if you're gonna take anger out on anybody, it should be the local government and the Airbnb that allows it to run rampant. You should be using the water guns on the computers at this. You know, because I think that that's the main way that systems get to stay intact. They see this, Airbnb sees it, and local government sees it, and they're like, well, we get to rake in money while the people that live here blame somebody else. Why would we ever change our practices? You know? And I don't really know what the exact fix is. You know, I remember when Airbnb was like at your house. There was a time early in Airbnb's history where you were just renting a room in someone's house, and so they lived there, and then they collected the money from you staying with them, like a little mini hotel. But that was like easier because then they lived here, so they cared about the home, they cared about the community, and you got to get a taste of like local life. And you could even ask them, hey, is there anywhere I should go to eat? And they would tell you, this is where we're going to eat tonight. And sometimes you would actually have a meal with your host. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing. And then like private equity and more money got involved, and so it ruined it. Because now an Airbnb is also like sometimes worse than a hotel, because they'll let the person who owns the Airbnb set the rules. So now you have someone setting these insane rules for the Airbnb. Like, you can't just check out. You can't just take your trash, put it outside, and leave. There are all these rules. Like, you have to make sure to wash the cabinets, wash all the dishes and everything, wipe everything down, you know, give our dog a bath. Also, you don't get charged a cleaning fee that you end up getting charged anyway, because in the small print, it was like, pick up our kid from school. And you didn't see that part. So now you're spending all this money on Airbnb to just go somewhere nice like Italy. And then you get to Italy and everyone's mad at you for visiting Italy, but you're also mad because you're like, the rules in this Airbnb say I have to buy this house before I leave.
Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I have a hard time sometimes checking back in with someone who I haven't talked to in a long time. There are some people that you can pick up where you left off perfectly. Like, perfectly. Like, even when you call them, you're like, as I was saying. It's been 4 years, but you remember where you left off. And then there's other people where it's like, you gotta find your footing again. You know? And it's really difficult, at least in the way that we've structured things right now, for men to have very close, intimate friendships with other men. And it's tough because people talk about this epidemic of male loneliness. I'd like to get to the bottom of why men are lonely, because there are men everywhere. It's kind of crazy that there's millions of men and they're all lonely. it seems like they should meet the men that are also lonely. It's a lot of men to be lonely. Imagine 100 million people feel by themselves. Seems fixable. One would hope. But some of it is just like the way that men make friends. There are very few, especially you're talking about your intimate, your strong friendships. There's very few categories and very few ways to go down that road with another man. It's usually one of a few things. Your best friend as a man is usually one related to you, maybe. That's my brother. Didn't even need to make a friend. My parents made him for me. So we sort of rolled together since we were little because, you know, he was right there. So how you gonna not? That's like when people like hate their brothers, I'm like, oh, he must have put some work in then, because by default, y'all should have been at least chilling. And then there are men who become intense friends through a shared trauma, like a war buddy. Like you may not have even been compatible in the outside world, but you went through something that was so distinct to your experience that the only other person that gets it covers so much ground for you that now y'all can be best friends because you went through this thing together. And then the third way is kind of like the brother thing. You just known each other for a long time. I mean, we took civics class together, and that was that. I don't get out much. And even within your friendship, because this is the thing about real loneliness. You don't have to have no friends to be lonely. You can be lonely within the relationships that you have. It's about letting people in, and it's hard as guys for us to really let someone in because there's a thing that we're battling all the time. Some of it's social, some of it's like learned, it's conditioned, and then some of it is not knowing how to express the stuff that's inside. So you're in a really tense place as a guy sometimes, and any little thing can knock you off of a good track you have with a friend. Like a hug. It's a dangerous thing. Hugging as a man. Going in too quick. Looking a little thirsty. We gotta be really specific about our hugs as men, you know? It's on the top of mind, even if you don't think it is. It's surface level, but it's top of mind. You get a weird hug from a friend, it could change your whole relationship. You know? And most of it is like learned over time. As a baseline, you're good to go, right? Especially if you go in for that one palm first, boom, right here, bring it in, very manly. You know, bow, bow, you know, you bang shoulders together. Whoever shoulder breaks first loses. That's my boy, bow, bow, right? You want to make it extra painful, you go in with the other hand, bow, bow, bow. I remember one time I went in, you know, hugged my buddy, hands out, bow. Good loud clap too, real manly stuff. People that we didn't know heard that pop from across the room. Pow! Went in for the hug, boom. Messed up both our shoulders. And if I'm being honest, it all went awry at the end because I don't know where his mind was at. But, you know, he went to, you know, close it off, last hand on the back. But for some reason, it was a little low, like. Just so you understand what I went through. We were going in for the hug. Bow. I bring it in. Bow. He comes around. Mid-hug, I'm like, sir. He immediately like, yeah, my bad, dog. I didn't mean to, yeah, no, it was great, you know, wind. And depend on who you are and who it happens with could knock the whole friendship out of whack forever. That's how delicate it is. Oh. And it's tough sometimes, tough to make friends as a man. Like even if you really rock with somebody, you really respect them, you really admire them, and you might even tell them so, but you don't know how to cross over that next level to really be a friend. You know? And because it's not often communicated, a lot of men don't know they have friends. You have people that you're cool with. But then, if somebody asks them and somebody asks you, you're both like, yeah, I guess we're friends. I mean, yeah, he cool. Like, what'd he say about me? Like, no, like, he cool. Like, I mean, like, I like Buddy. Like, he cool and everything. And I'm sure he think I'm cool. But, like, I think we're friends. But it's also cool if we not. Like, if we're not friends at all. Like, I don't care. We could be enemies for all I care. Like, let's get it. Oh, it's true. And then, you know, sometimes you don't realize how hard it is to make friends until you look around and you're like, oh, I don't feel like I have many. It's a thing that can happen subtly. You know, it's not something that comes all at once. You look around and you're like, oh, who would I really call if I was in trouble? Maybe just a few people, maybe genuinely. There's no one you feel comfortable making that call to, you know? And so you want to make friends, but it's tough to go out there and try to make friends as a man sometimes. And it doesn't have to be, but just think about it. Like, dudes always act like they don't know what they mean when a woman is like freaked out by a guy coming on too strong, but let a man just try to be your friend. As a man, walk up to another man and be like, I like your jeans. See how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. You know what I mean? But that's my thing. That's my thing, is that we're in a place now where, for the most part, it doesn't have to be this hard. We have online friendships. We have friendships that we can make in person. There's no reason for people to feel lonely. And women try to help. They do. You ever had your girlfriend try to make you some friends? It's one of the most demoralizing. It's one thing when you little. When you're like a little kid and you're weird. Like I was weird and I was a little kid and my mom was like, let me get him some help. Let me find some other weirdos. They can be weird together. It becomes very different when you're like 30. And someone who has made the choice to love you slowly starts trying to set you up with just any other man so you have someone to talk to besides her. Which is just like so fundamentally what it is. Like it's just sadly a woman who's like, I can't hear everything. Some of this gotta be for the locker room, please. Men are out here so lonely. We got women tried to set us up for locker room talk just so it won't be talked to them for like an hour. And getting set up on like a boyfriend play date is one of the saddest experiences, because as men, you both know why you there. You both sitting here now, knowing why you here, and both y'all acting too good for each other. Like, both y'all sit here like, yeah, you know, the game was crazy last week. I got friends, just so you know. Like, I don't even know why she doing this. Like, yeah, I got people to talk to. And then buddy over here is like, yeah, you know, sports. Yes, the team is doing well, but not as well as we would like. We hope that they will do better, but they have won some games. We hope they win more. Sports. I also got friends. Like, I don't know why my girl, like, I don't know why our girl, when that's just them being obsessed with us when we not around, for her to tell you about me and me about you. You know, there's no need, you know, like, we could just watch the game, you know, together without it being something, being weird or anything. Mm-hmm. Do you want to watch the game though? Because I think it'd be a good one if you want to. Yeah, no, I'd love to watch the game. I'd love to. This is nice, dog. This is nice. Oh. Because it doesn't have to be this way. Your friendships are incredibly important, and I think seeking them out is a very important business to make in life. Seeking out good friendships, seeking out people that make you a better person. It will make you richer than anything you could have ever imagined, because friends take care of you. There are times where you don't know what's going to happen to you, and there are people who you didn't need to call, you didn't need to ask, they just show up because they care about you. Those things are incredibly important, and a lot of men feel like they're missing in their lives, and is once again wild because there are a lot of men. I feel like we could get to the bottom of it pretty quickly. Just looking around, you know? Because a lot of what makes that loneliness is a cycle. It's a hamster wheel of somewhat our own making. You know, you're on this thing because you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable. And when you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable, you usually don't behave in a way that makes you more lovable to people. You usually don't open up. And so you're acting in a way that becomes more antisocial. It pushes more people away. So the people that you would have got just by happenstance, they get pushed away. And then there are actively people in your life that you try to be close to. You push them away as well. And then by the fact that you push so many people away, it reconfirms to you the thing that you told yourself about yourself. And so you just stay on that wheel. And it is simple to get off. It's not easy, but it's simple. You just step off of the wheel and you walk up to a guy that you respect and you say, I like your jeans. Like, it's cool. They're really cool. Like, you're like cool. And one of the reasons that is simple but not easy, one of the reasons it's scary to do, is because there seems to be such a lack of accepting that thing, of accepting that love, of accepting someone wanting to be there for you, take care of you and everything. It's very hard to get in. And look, once you're there, you're there. once you're there, you know, I know a lot of loyal men, and you'll have a friend for life, but there's some walls, you know? Like, one thing that I've seen is a rabbit hole that I've fallen down that I enjoy very much is this trend of men calling to wish their friends good night. And it encapsulates everything that I'm saying. It's one of the most fascinating things to watch. Basically, if you haven't seen this yet, people are recording, usually the girlfriend or wife is recording their husband or boyfriend calling his friends to say goodnight. That's it. That's literally it, and it's one of the most fascinating things you can watch, because there are as many reactions as there are like faces on a diamond. Like you cannot predict what's gonna happen, and you will be surprised every single time. Because it'll call, and one of those calls, they answer, "Hey, what's up?" "Nothing. What's up with you, man?" "Oh, not much. You know, I was just calling, about to go to bed and everything, so I just want to wish you good night." The first one I watched, I just want to call and wish you good night, you know, just have a good night. And the guy was like, "What?" No, I was just saying, call and wish you good night. Like, you know, hope you have a good night too. Sleep tight, drink sweet dreams and everything. What? And this reaction comes because the last time that a man heard those words, he was a boy. And it was his parents. And that's if it ever happened. So a lot of men don't know how to handle it. It's literally like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, sleep tight, you know, night and everything. Huh? Not even kidding. In the call, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just about to nod off and everything. So I was saying, you know, have a good night. You know, I'll see you when I see you. Like, I gotta go. Oh, another one of my favorites. Another one that genuinely filled me with joy. This dude called and he was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" "I'm good. How you doing?" Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm just about to nod off and everything, so I'm, you know, just wanted to wish you good night, say sleep tight, you know, sweet dreams and everything. Dude on the phone went, "What? Night? What you mean good night?" You would not believe how many men said, "What do you mean good night?" What do you mean good night? And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm just about to go to bed, you know, sweet dreams and everything." And he's like, "Yo, you good? Are you good? Dog, for real, are you good?" And for the rest of the phone call, he could not convince his friend he wasn't kidnapped. Like, "Yeah, dog, no, I'm good, I'm chilling. I'm just, you know, about to nod off. We haven't talked in a while, so I want to say night, wish you sweet dreams and everything." And he's like, oh, they got you? Ooh, okay, let me know where you at. Where you at? "No, I'm at home. I'm just saying, like, sweet dreams and everything. Like, I hope you sleep well, like, sleep tight and everything." Like, "I won't let you die, dog. Where you at?" No, I'm riding out right now. Just send me the address. Like, put in code or something. Like, no, totally different call. Totally different call. This dude called. Wish this dude good night. He was like, hey, I just want to say good night. Sleep dreams. Hope you, have a good night and everything. And the dude said, huh? Yeah, just good night. Hope you have a good night. Yo, what you mean good night? Like, I'm just saying good, like, have a good night, like sleep well. He's like, yeah, whoa, why you calling me telling me that? Like, you call me like I'm like a side chick or something. What you doing? I was like, no, dog, I just wanted to wish you, a good night. Hope you sleep well, sleep tight and everything. Hey, I really feel like you're being disrespectful right now. And one of the reasons I feel like this is such a phenomenon is because I'm not saying that women even do this all the time, but the way that women are friends with each other has a lot more of these little things in it. It's the little checkups. It's the little, like, how you doing, how you been. It's the little chats that is usually missing in male friendships, which makes a lot of men not really know where they stand with other men. Like, you'll be friends with somebody. You'll be considered a friend by somebody, but you won't be sure. You'll be like, no, I like him. And we hang out once in a while, but like, he's like my other friend's brother. So if you ask him, I guess he'd say we're friends, but it's also cool if he doesn't. Like, I don't care. I ain't care. I'm not pressed about that. Like, maybe we friends, maybe we not. I don't know. It's cool either way. If you want to be enemies, we could do that too. Because that's the thing. Is just how we show love is very specific. Like, I've watched my girlfriend tell her girlfriends, love you, easily. Not another thought. Love you as bye, love you middle conversation, whatever, right? And as men, we rarely say, I love you to other men, especially that we're not related to. And I think it's because to me, it's just a different style of love. Because a lot of men will not say, I love you to their other friends, to other men. They won't say, I love you. They say it in a different way, because what we value as men is the sort of like loyalty or ride or die level of commitment that we have to each other that stays unspoken. Sometimes you don't even know somebody has it for you until you're in trouble. So as men, we don't really say, I love you to each other like that. You know a man loves you when he says, dog, I'd die for you. Because we really just sort of keep it in life and death. Outside looking in, I'm not saying I know, I'm just saying from what I watch, it seems like women are very excited to give and receive love from each other. And as men, we're very excited to die. Oh, we would love to die together. That'd be preferable. Just let's die together. Yeah, no, we'll ride out right now, dog. And that's what I saw in that phone call when that dude called his friend. That dude loved him, convinced he was kidnapped. I was like, where you at? Let me know right now. Because so much of it is like about being hard, I suppose. Like, as a man, you want to be not just respect, you want to be admired, you want to be hard, and it seems like being hard is the way to get those two things. It was one, this dude called his buddy, said sweet dreams. He's like, what you mean sweet dreams? What you mean sweet dreams? No, I'm just saying sweet dreams. No, what you mean sweet dreams? I don't have sweet dreams. All right, it's nightmares every day around here. Nobody worried about some sweet dream. What you dreaming about? Shoot, I dream about work. Maybe my favorite one, we're talking like top. One of my favorite ones is this dude calls. Hey, what's up, dog? Oh, I'm good. What's up with you? Nothing. I just wanted to call, say good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite you. Just wanted to wish you a good night, man. He was like, how you know I got bed bugs, dog? Like, I didn't tell anybody about that. What's wrong with you? Why you... Don't be telling people my business, for real. We're talking like top 2-3 videos of the trend. It was this one dude calls his buddy up, and he's already giggling because he knows how his friend's gonna react. Because that's the thing, is that it's so funny how weird people react, because you can tell from the way they pick up the phone that they're close. Who they chose to call for a reason. And half of them, when they pick up, they're being silly anyway, Hey, what's up? If that's how you answer, you can't freak out when someone says good night. Male friendships are so important because at least for the guys that I know, they're some of the only friendships that tether you. They tether you to a way of seeing the world that is unconditional of other things. I'm not saying that when you have female friends or when you're alone, you can't get to the same place you can get with male friends. I just think it's very different. It's very different. Like if you went to one of your female friends after a breakup and you're telling her what happened, maybe she'll see your perspective, but she probably wasn't gonna do the same thing as you were gonna do. Whereas if you go to a guy after a breakup and you tell him what happened, one of two things is either gonna happen. He's either gonna see completely your perspective, maybe he'll pump you up, maybe he'll tell you you were wrong, but he's gonna see it exactly the way that you see it. Or he's gonna be like, dang, I was about to do that same thing. That's good to know. Like, I was about to ruin my whole life. Ooh, thank God you did it before me. Okay. Ooh, that's good to know. All right. Because I want that for the men that I see suffering from loneliness. I want them to have friends. Friends would fix the loneliness, and it would heal a big part of this thing that we see en masse from men. When you see a bunch of like angry men, some people are like, all these angry dudes just need a girlfriend. All these like incels just need to get laid. It's like, no, they need friends. like friends. Friends would fix things way more than I think we realize, because sometimes those dudes get a girlfriend. I know it doesn't seem likely, but it's true. No, fundamentally, I'm being serious, it's true. Sometimes the most like weird, nasty posting incel will actually get a girlfriend. And it doesn't necessarily heal everything, because now in their mind they're like, okay, this woman likes me. This woman doesn't think that I'm ugly. But all of these preconceived notions they have about women still remain. Whereas when you have friends, I'm not saying it makes you a wholly better person. It depends on the friends that you keep. You can measure parts of a man by the company that he keeps. But at the same time, when you have a bunch of friends around you, well-rounded friends that can hear what you're saying or can understand where you're coming from and can help guide you down a better path, that makes it better for everyone. You know, some of my best friends have shown me things about myself I wouldn't have caught otherwise. And it's not as if you even need that many. I don't even know if men could handle a lot of friends. We're not good at maintaining relationships in the same way. So 5 is probably enough. Honestly, 5, that 5th one, you're gonna forget his name once in a while. 5 is a lot. A lot of men have one. And once again, it falls into the categories I was talking about before. They have one truly close friend, one truly close male friend, and they either have just known him a long time, or it's their brother, or they went to war together. Yeah? But they have one. So when he dies, that's it. Because you're also his only one. I hope that we can get men to prank each other to the point of good mental health. I hope that it would be so dope if the next level of the prank is just like, hey everybody, I'm gonna go to my buddy's dad's funeral to support him. Let's see what he does. He's there at the funeral. He's like, how you feel, man? How are you doing? His friend's like, how am I doing? What you mean how I'm doing? What you mean how you try to get knocked out? What you mean how I'm doing? Huh? What you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean? And then he cries on his shoulder, and that's the cry on the shoulder challenge. Like, you just have to ask how a man is doing over and over until he answers. And then he really needed that. It's really important, so have a moment together. Just see dudes like, next trend, just next trend is just like, you know, like the kitchen challenge, where you just like go over to your boy's place and just check his kitchen. Like, is it insane? Is it disgusting? Are there other things living there? Oh, I'd love to see, and you know, we as a society will hopefully be around much longer. One day TikTok's gonna be pretty old. I wanna see a TikTok challenge where it's just dudes calling each other out of nowhere, being like, hey, make sure you get your prostate checked, all right? We all 50 and up right now, like, no, look, I'm gonna call him, tell him to check his prostate, see how he react, right? And it's like, all right, yeah, because you know we both 55, so it's like that time, you know, you gotta keep up with your health and everything. He freaking out, He's like, why you worried about my prostate, dog? Like, it's something I hope continues, because I think it's nice. Out of all of like the TikTok trends and the YouTube pranks, this is like one that I think is genuinely good. Because you'll see these compilations of them, and then every once in a while you'll get one. This dude called his friend. He was like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. I was just calling, you know, wish you good night and everything. And his friend was like, what? It's like, yeah, no, I was just thinking about you, so I want to say good night, sleep tight, You know what I mean? Have sweet dreams and everything. And his buddy was like, oh, thank you, man. Nah, I appreciate you, man. You have sweet dreams too, dog. No, that's special.
Hey, brother, I was just calling to say goodnight and hope you sleep well, have sweet dreams and everything. And life is hard, I know, but you always keep your head up. You always make it to the next day. That's all we can do. And I just hope you know that there are people who really do love you, care about you, are thinking about you. And I hope tomorrow's better than today was. Also, I don't want this to disturb your sleep or anything, but they did get me, by the way, the ops. So I don't let it disturb your sleep tonight, but like if there's something you could do, like if you could get over here. I don't know if they want money. I honestly, I am frightened, but I'm gonna keep my head up the way you keep your head up, brother, and we gon' get through it. But anyway, sleep tight, sweet dreams. Night night.